Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are exploring one of Japan's most extraordinary cultural treasures, Ritsurin Garden. If you've ever wanted to truly understand the absolute pinnacle of traditional Japanese landscape design, well, you are in the exact right place. Located in Takamatsu City, right over in Kagawa Prefecture on the island of Shikoku, this place isn't just your standard local park. The Japanese government actually designated it as a special place of scenic beauty. And yes, that is the highest possible classification for a Japanese garden. It essentially crowns it as a total masterpiece of national importance.
And it's not just local authorities who recognize how brilliant this place is. The Michelin Green Guide Japan awarded Ritsurin Garden its absolute highest rating of 3 stars. They explicitly called it worth a special journey. So this isn't just a nice little stop if you happen to be in the neighborhood, right? It's a primary destination that totally justifies going out of your way for. Today, we're going to look at exactly why it earned that crazy distinction and how you can actually plan that special journey yourself.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover its status as a 3-star masterpiece, the art of strolling, highlights to explore, a garden for all seasons, and finally, planning your visit, along with some key tips and nearby sites.
Section 1. A 3-star masterpiece. Let's take a quick step back in time.
So Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was Ritsurin Garden. Construction actually kicked off way back in 1625 under a local feudal lord named Ikoma Takatoshi. But this was literally the ultimate long-term landscaping project. After the Ikoma family lost control of the region, the Matsudera family took over, and they just relentlessly expanded and refined the garden. It took a staggering 100 years of continuous design and labor to complete. I mean, imagine a home renovation lasting an entire century. For hundreds of years, it acted as the private retreat for these lords until it finally opened its gates to the public in 1875.
And that century of meticulous expansion? Well, it resulted in this massive number, 75. Ritsurin Garden covers a sprawling footprint of about 75 hectares. That's roughly 185 acres. To put that into perspective, you're looking at a vast, sprawling canvas of curated nature designed to completely immerse you. It totally separates you from the modern city humming just outside its walls.
Section 2. The art of strolling. How do you design a 75-hectare garden so it never feels boring?
Now, what's really interesting here is the secret sauce they used, called shike, or borrowed scenery. Unlike gardens meant to be viewed statically, just sitting on the veranda of a single building, Ritsurin is a strolling garden. The designers actually wanted you to move. As you walk, they intentionally designed the sightlines so that the massive Mount Shiun in the background looks like it's physically part of the garden itself. By borrowing the mountain, they made those 75 hectares feel infinitely larger. Seriously, every few steps you take, the foreground shifts against the mountain, revealing a totally new, perfectly framed landscape.
And within that borrowed landscape, the variety is just staggering. On your stroll, you'll pass 6 distinct ponds, 13 carefully constructed artificial hills that give you these great elevated viewpoints, more than 1,000 sculpted pine trees, gorgeous stone bridges, traditional tea houses, and an ever-changing rotation of seasonal flowers. It's essentially a highly engineered ecosystem of beauty.
Section 3. Highlights to explore. Let's check out some absolute must-see experiences. At the very pinnacle of the garden's design is the South Pond and the Kikugetsute Tea House. The South Pond is the largest one in the garden, and it's famous for acting like this massive mirror that perfectly reflects the trees and that borrowed mountain backdrop. Nestled right on the edge of this pond is the historic tea house. Just picture this. You're sitting on tatami mats, tasting the earthy bitterness of traditional matcha green tea, perfectly balanced by a sweet Japanese confection, all while looking out over one of the most perfectly composed and highly photographed views in all of Japan. It is a complete sensory experience.
If you want to change your perspective entirely, you absolutely have to experience the traditional Japanese boat ride. This is hugely popular. You board this slow-moving traditional wooden boat that just glides effortlessly across the South Pond. The brilliant thing about this, the boat path was specifically designed to offer exclusive angles of the landscape that are completely hidden from the walking paths on the shore.
As you navigate the water and the paths, you'll be constantly surrounded by the garden's most famous residents, over 1,000 pine trees. But these aren't just your standard trees. These massive, beautifully shaped pines are basically living sculptures. Master gardeners have been carefully, manually pruning many of them for hundreds of years to achieve these dramatic, sweeping shapes. They're a true testament to generations of dedicated care. Rounding out the highlights, you've got numerous stone and wooden bridges connecting the islands and shores. every single one designed as a distinct photo opportunity. And framing all of this is an incredible tapestry of flora. Depending on when you visit, you'll see summer lotus flowers, spring cherry and plum blossoms, vibrant azaleas, delicate irises, camellias, striking autumn maples, and the stark, serene beauty of the winter pines.
Section 4. A garden for all seasons. Let's break down what you can expect year-round.
So spring, specifically March and April, brings the famous cherry blossoms and really pleasant weather. Because of that, it's incredibly popular and quite busy. Summer offers lush greenery and blooming lotus flowers, but just a heads up, be prepared for intense heat and humidity. Autumn, mainly November, is arguably the most popular time. The maple leaves explode into these brilliant shades of red, orange, and yellow. It's an absolute dream for photographers. But honestly, don't count out winter. It's way less crowded, and you get to see yukitsuri, these fascinating, decorative rope cones suspended over the pine trees to protect their branches from heavy snow. It creates a uniquely beautiful winter landscape.
Section 5. Planning your visit. So the crucial point is figuring out the logistics. First up, opening hours. The fantastic news is that Ritsurin Garden is open 365 days a year. However, the hours shift dynamically almost every single month to align with the sunlight. For example, in the peak of summer, you can enter as early as 5:30 a.m. and stay until 7 p.m. But in the dead of winter, those hours compress from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. You definitely want to always check the schedule before you go so you don't arrive too early or too late.
When it comes to admission, it is incredibly accessible. Adult tickets are just 500 yen, elementary and junior high students are 170 yen, and preschool children get in absolutely free. If you happen to be traveling with a large party of 20 or more, you get group discounts. Oh, and here's a great pro tip. Admission is completely free for everyone on January 1st and March 16th.
Getting there is a breeze, too. The absolute fastest route from JR Takamatsu Station is a simple 3-step process. First, just hop on the JR local train heading toward Tokushima. Second, get off at JR Ritsuren Kokidakari Station. The train ride itself is literally only about 5 minutes. Finally, take a quick 3 to 5 minute stroll and you'll find yourself right at the north gate of the garden. Now, if you aren't using the JR lines, no worries, you still have great options. From Takamatsu Station, you can also take the Kotoden train, which takes about 7 minutes plus a 10-minute walk to the east gate. You could catch a city bus from stops 4 or 5, or literally just grab a 7-minute taxi ride. If you're coming straight from Takamatsu Airport, simply board the limousine bus bound for the city. That takes 30 to 40 minutes and drops you right beside the garden entrance. And if you're driving, paid parking is readily available at both the east and north gates. Cars run 100 yen per 25 minutes, and buses are 510 yen per 30 minutes.
And despite being a centuries-old historical site, the garden is fully equipped for modern travelers. You'll have access to free Wi-Fi, coin lockers to store your heavy bags, pristine restrooms, and really fantastic accessibility options, including wheelchair, walking aid, and baby stroller rentals. There are souvenir shops, cafes for a quick rest, and even volunteer English-speaking guides available on certain days to help you really understand the grounds.
Section 6. Tips and nearby sites to help you make the absolute most of your visit.
Okay, some quick pro tips before you go. Our top advice? Visit early in the morning. This beats both the heat and the crowds, which is especially crucial during those highly popular autumn weekends and cherry blossom seasons. Because this is a strolling garden with tons of paths, comfortable shoes are an absolute must. And make sure your camera is charged. That shake design we talked about means the scenery changes beautifully at every single turn. Once you've enjoyed your matcha at the Kiku Getsu Tea House and finished your stroll, you can easily combine this trip with nearby attractions. Think Takamatsu Castle Park, Yashima, the historical architecture at Shikokumura, the massive Takamatsu shopping arcades, or even head down to Takamatsu Port to catch a ferry to the famous art island of Naoshima. Ritsurin Garden really is more than just a park. It's a meticulously crafted work of art. I mean, it took a century to build, and it was designed to completely immerse you in the beauty of nature, no matter when you arrive. So, looking at everything we've covered today, from the vibrant lotus flowers of summer to the fiery maples of autumn and the quiet rope-draped pines of winter, which season will you choose for your special journey? Thanks for joining us on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.